What's good? What's good, fam? TC here, I.O.B.A. All right, I see my piece behind me. I just finished that yesterday, and I had a good time doing it. It took me probably about 3 days to really finish it, but I took my time on it. I could have knocked that shit out in about 2 hours, but I took my time and farted around. Anyway, that's my latest piece. So check it. I'm a big fan of pro-blackness and the new black media and all the rest of it. I'm definitely I.O.B.A. Definitely A.D.O.S. But sometimes, when I listen to, when I'm checking out Tariq or Professor Black Truth or Antonio Moore, Yvette Carnell, and all of them, I'm checking young people, but these people out, and I listen to them, right? And a lot of times they start going off on, you know, people from the civil rights movement. Now, and rightfully so. Don't get it twisted. Rightfully so. But there's a group of people that came right on the heels of the civil rights movement. Right after they killed off the Black Panther Party and killed Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all of them brothers. Right there around 69, 70, 71, 72. Vietnam was winding down and them cats was coming home. And a lot of them brothers that came home was woke. And so some of them came to my little town. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Where I lived, I didn't know who Martin Luther King was when he got shot. Just like I didn't know who Barack Obama was before 2007. That's how sheltered our town was. So when he got shot, I was about 11, 12 years old. And I come from that era, right? So some of these Vietnam guys came to our town and opened up some community centers in our neighborhood, in the neighborhood across town where the majority of the black people live. You see, I always lived in a neighborhood. I never lived in the projects. Had I lived in the projects, I might have woke up a little bit sooner. But like I said, and known who Martin Luther King was. But where we live way the fuck on the other side of town. It was maybe, at that time, 6 or 8 black families over there. We all knew each other, but us kids, we was too fucking young to be conscious of anything, and our teachers didn't really talk about that shit. I mean, at school. But anyway, they came and they woke some people up. They started the drill team, which I got in. They opened up the community center, and I used to go there. And they had the Black History classes, and they had Stokely Carmichael on the wall, and Malcolm X on the wall, Huey P. Newton on the wall. And I wanted to know who these motherfuckers was. Fred Hampton. I wanted to know who these men were. So they started doing Black History on Thursday night as part of the drill team program. And while my friends were sitting around busting balls, cracking jokes, and trying to get with the little girls, I was paying attention. Now, I said this before in another video, but I paid close attention. I wanted to know. You know what I mean? Martin Luther King, that was all good. I was learning about him, I knew who Kennedy was because, he was the president. But I wanted to know who, because, I heard about Malcolm X and he was supposed to be this big scary dude. And then when I got to the center, they said no, and they broke it down for me. And then I got a chance to compare the two, and I just felt like, I leaned toward the philosophy of Malcolm X before he went to Mecca. So coming from that age group, right, and coming from that period of time, a lot of people now think that all of the people my age, all our ideas are, or we don't know what's happening. We just let shit happen to us and we didn't fight. Or we weren't hip, or we didn't know exactly what was going on. But with regard to, you know, what white people was doing to us, and with regard to our history and who we are and what we're supposed to be doing at that time in our life. Well, I don't know about a lot of other people, but I did mine. And so from the time I was 15, 16, 17, when I was 16, I was you know, a little sergeant in the drill team. By the time I was 18, I had my own drill team. And the drill team is where you take a bunch of kids and you ain't marching, I'm sorry, you ain't dancing, you ain't stepping. You marching. It's kind of like a church drill team, only without the religion part. And it was more about black power, black empowerment, pro-blackness. I used to run that shit to them. Anyway, by the time I was 18, I had my first drill team, and it just went on from there. And I just kept on keeping on with regard to enriching my knowledge about my black history, my who I am, where I was, and all of that sort of thing. That's how I got out of the church. I never really was in the church, but that's how I really came out as a non-believer in traditional religion. A non-believer in traditional religion. I came out as a non-Christian, definitely. Shit, by the time I was 17 or 18, I was already a non-Christian. But I just, you know, cemented that shit all up and through the years. The more I learned about myself and the more I learned about religion and what it is and how it came to be. I guess, you know, if motherfucker gonna make me say it, I guess I'm more of a spiritual person because that makes the most fucking sense to me. But aside from all that, Tariq and a lot of these other cats, they want to write us off like we weren't there, like we just, you know, didn't really try to keep alive the black experience, and we did. Me and a few other people like me. There wasn't a lot of us. No. Most of the people my age now is ass deep in the church. They were trying to be deacons and pastors and shit. And a lot of the motherfuckers was pimps and assholes and cheaters and liars and thieves when we was all young. Now a lot of these motherfuckers done grown up, past 50. They can see their end in sight. And now they want to get right with God or with their God. And I guess that's all well and good. But them the motherfuckers that Tariq and them are talking about, not me. And not people like me. So just so they know, so Tariq, Nasheed, and all of them know, there's some woke brothers out here that are past 55, that are older than Snoop Dogg and them, but younger than John Lewis and them. You know what I mean? Younger than Jesse Jackson and them. We just turning into retirement age. We right there. But a lot of us didn't believe the fucking hype. Back during the hip hop years, you'd have found us listening to Public Enemy, X Clan, and shit like that. You know what I mean? So yes, we know Cory Booker's a fucking fraud, and we've known it for a long time. Yes, we know that Kamala Harris ain't nothing but motherfucking Barack Obama in drag. We know all of this shit, but we know more than a lot of y'all. I ain't saying all of y'all, but a lot of y'all, because we was fucking there. Anyway, I just wanted to make that video. Let them know we ain't all asleep. We ain't all asleep. So anyway, that's it for now. Let me get on with this workout. I'm gonna be doing chest tonight as it's Monday. And I just finished this piece behind me, two ladies carrying water. And I gotta get some commissions, man. I'm itching to do some nice work for some people. And I guess I'll see y'all in the next one. A.D.O.S. forever and black first. TC, and I'm out.